What's up everybody, it's your favourite toy maker's favourite nerd here, and I thought it was about time I came in and gave you a demo of my finished Whirl. Now I actually finished this guy kind of a while ago, and some of you may even have a copy in your collection already. If you're one of those people, sorry it took so long to make the transformation video, but now you're going to get to see how this guy works. And yeah, so let's go through a quick articulation demo first, just so people know what he can do. Arms, you've got your shoulder joint here, and outward shoulder up to there. It's got the bicep rotation. You know, some of these may be a little stiff if you've bought a copy off me or are going to, but just careful, well-placed pressure, he shouldn't break on you. Elbow joint, there's actually two. So there's one small one here to give a bit of extra clearance, you can see that, followed by second one so you can get past 90 degrees, and then fingers are on a little ball joint here so you can get all sorts of posing and change their angles and so on. I tried to make it as expressive as possible. On the head's on a ball, but also the neck can hinge downwards. I did originally want to have a second ball there, but there was just no way of making that work. It always fell off in transformation, and you still get quite a bit out of that. And then finally, legs. Oh no, actually, there's an ab crunch here. You can see there in the middle. And then finally the legs, you know, fairly free ball joint. Rotation at the thigh. And then two different knees. This one's a little less limited than this one, though you still get a good range on both. And yeah, nothing at the ankle. I did try for something at the ankle, but there's just kind of a limit to what you can pull off. Like I had a set of ankle joints designed, but I just couldn't get them in without it looking like an absolute mess. It took away so much from the sleek look, and it doesn't hurt him too much aesthetically in most poses. So, you know, I'm satisfied. If you're not, then it's completely understandable. But we can't be friends. So let's get into transformation, because I have started selling these at conventions. As I say, some people may already have one, and so people need to know how to make it. His files will also be available sometime in the near future. There's a few things I need to sort there, but he'll definitely be available. I want to get them in people's hands, and it'll definitely be available before Cyclonus is finished. So, for transformation, let's start on the arms. So you want to rotate the arm so the turbine is facing forwards. Untab these pieces. There's a little dovetail holding the forearm pieces together. Not on this one because it fell off, but there will be on all other copies. And then come in here, rotate the fingers around using that ball joint clearance in and into there, just to get them out of the way. You can see that. And we'll repeat that on the other side. There we are. Then you'll want to untab this. Again, it might be a little stiff to start with, but untab the back of the shoulder. Rotate this down to about that angle, the shoulder spike. Open this up, take this as far as it'll go. It will be stopped at some point by a little notch there. And that is the arm ready to go. Oh, and break it at the bicep here, so you have it here at 90 degrees. Just repeat on the other side. If you can hear me breathing strained into the microphone, it's because using this setup is a lot more effort than I thought. So, that's the arms ready to go. Now for the tricky bit, or the complex bit really. So, unhook this backpack. It hooks in under here. There's a sort of notch. Makes sense when I get it open. You can see there is the hook I'm talking about. Open it up, and here you can see most of the vehicle covering. So, the arms may flop about at this point. I wouldn't worry too much. Open this up. Open up these tabs. Hold the head up, and then fold the head around. It rotates on a bar here. And there's a notch here that will go into this cavity. You can't see that. There's a notch here that will go into a cavity on the bottom of the head. And just line that up, and you know you've got it in the right place. Like that. Then slide each side of these alt mode bits out. Like that. And then this is where it might be a little dicey in terms of you just need to move things past each other. So unfold this piece. While you're unfolding it, rotate this up a bit to give it clearance from the neck. So if you see, start like this, rotates up, and it'll clear the neck. Oh, if you got it pulled all the way out, there we are. Like that. And then you want to pivot this up and notch it in. Pull this out. And then just to repeat it on the other side, once this is all the way out, rotate this up and round. This notch here goes into there, up, pull it out, and then these can come down, and there you have the top of the alt mode. So, now we can start getting everything into place. To do that, open these tabs on the side of the midriff, like so. Oh, like so. And then fold the back of the back of the midriff all the way up. And now this is quite important. There are two tiny little tabs in... Nope. God, this is hard work. There are two tiny little tabs in here. In the midriff, like that. You can see one folded out there and one isn't. You're going to want to fold that out because those are actually quite important. I need to adjust myself. Jesus. Okay. So, once you've done that, rotate this piece all the way around. Nope, that's the waist, not that. Rotate the midriff all the way around like that. And the front piece can just fold flat against the top of the vehicle. So, it may look a little messy here, but in hand you'll sort of see that it's not nearly as chaotic as it seems. Anyway, now you want to fold the arms in. So this tab that we folded out earlier, yes, the arm's getting eager. This tab will peg into this hole in the lower bicep, right here. And so the double hinge here will hinge in, and then that elbow tab will just tab in nicely, and you can see it is now firmly in place. If you repeat it with the other side, that will also tab in nicely, and then the back of the shoulders, stay up there, damn it. The back of the shoulders will peg together like so. And then you should have that all securely in there. See that? All right, sweet. So now we can bring this cover down to sort of finish off the front of the vehicle. So there is a little bit of finagling here. You need to make sure that everything is in as tightly as it can. You know, push the shoulders into place. Fold these pieces from the midriff, you see here, now all the way up against those shoulder struts. I can't tell if this is useful at all. And then if everything is in the right place, then this should close down, feeding these shoulder spikes through these little gaps here. And with just a little bit of nursing it, then it should all... see, one of the arms has come out. I promise this isn't this difficult. I'm just working around Bobby's beautiful camera. And it's quite difficult. How's that? Anyway. But yeah, so if you've got everything in place as it should be, then bringing this down around it, make sure to clear those tabs, make sure to clear these tabs here. It should all tuck in and push down. It's this again. Bear in mind when you are transforming it, these tabs can be a real pain in the ass. If you don't notice and these midriff tabs fold down, then that will prevent you from fully closing the vehicle mode off. You know, there's a little bit, as I say, of finessing it to it. Don't worry, you're unlikely to break it. I have designed it to be as sturdy as it could be in this scenario. But, you know, there's only so much you can solve on a design like Whirl, you know. But there we are. It all comes down and you can see it start to close off. And the final thing to finish closing it off is there are some notches in this piece of the side that will notch around the elbow. So you want to get them lined up with each other and then just push down and it will snap the elbow into place in the backpack piece. And again on the other side, there we are. And that will just hold all of that together. And with some, you know, you may need to jostle it slightly, but that is the primary front of the vehicle done. My God, that took some effort. Coming back to the legs. So this is now a fairly simple final piece. So we open this up, slide the upper knee down, and then straighten the leg out to that. Repeat it on the other side. Open that up, slide that up. Oh, there we are, focus. Double hinge down. And then once you've done that, you want to use this hinge in here that is locked in place by this to bend down there, like that, and then just work with the two joints to bring this up. Oh, there we are, up and into place like that. And again here, work with the hip joint and the newly exposed joint to just work both of them together into place like that. And there you have, with a little bit of effort, Whirl's alt mode. As I say, there may be a bit mess looking in the when you bring the whole cover down, but I assure you, in person, when you sort of get a tactile feel for it, it's actually really not that bad. I've transformed this specific copy easily 15-20 times at the bar in the past, and I've not had any issues. You just, as I say, you just get a feel for it, and I don't want people to be scared to do theirs. You know, it'll hold up to a bit of punishment, so do feel free to try it. And hey, if you've got one and you're struggling, reach out to me and I'm keen to help. There he is. Of course, Tiger tracks for scale. Don't they scale perfectly? Or not, who knows? But there he is. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at this Whirl. As I say, I will have files eventually, but I'm also, at this point, starting to sell copies at conventions as I get better at building and timing that. So hopefully you can get your hands on one if you want one. Final thoughts wise, it's absolutely perfect, and I'm a genius.